Okay, guys, I'm just here to give my opinion on why level 15 is actually that bad for free to play players. And I think the first major point I really want to bring up is just indecisiveness because when I think of upgrading cards, especially if you want to do well, I think of there's three types of decks you want to upgrade: your main deck, some meta deck, or just some like deck that has cards that are just consistently good, like Hog Rider, right? Or Log or whatever. Maybe Ice Spirit, right? But then you have to make a decision, obviously. So your main deck, maybe it's not really that good. Maybe you're running some mid ladder mana stuff like Mega Knight, Wizard, Prince, whatever, right? And that's just if you want to do well or like get Ultimate Champion, it's hard to do it to that, right? And I know a lot of people, their goal may not be to get the Ultimate Champion, but it's definitely in there, right? Then you think, okay, then what about the meta deck? But the problem with meta decks is the fact that, well, normally not normally. Some decks are only good for one season, and some decks are good for a couple seasons. Then they fall off, and they come back. Now, maybe you upgrade a deck, and it's good for like 2 seasons, 3 seasons, but then it falls off. And normally that wouldn't be a problem because you could just upgrade a different deck. But because of how difficult getting elite wildcards actually is, it's just not sustainable. So you can't do that anymore. And then what about cards you already have at high level, but they're already consistently good, so you just okay, let's level them up to level 15. Which normally is a good strategy, but I feel like recently it's not as good because cards that used to be very good, like the Archer Queen in the balance changes, are now like B tier, C tier. That used to be S tier, maybe A tier if you was having an off season. And then it's not just the good cards getting bad, it's the bad cards getting good as well. Like Goblin Hut for the
Let's take a
longest time was the
shot.
second or third worst card in the game behind Furnace and Bobat. Now Dawson was the best card in the game. And yeah, we couldn't predict that. So now if and it was basically in all meta decks last season. So now no one who didn't have max cards had Goblin Hut max. So why would you? It was terrible. And even cards like Cannon Card, which used to be really good, complete trash now after the redesign. It just doesn't feel like there's any like one card you can choose that's just like yes, that card, if I choose that I win. Or not if I choose that I win, I choose that will be consistent for a long time and I know it. You don't know things anymore with the way the cards are being changed. And then of course you have like Rito Royale, which Rito Royale was really good for Clash Royale, I feel like, because it brought a lot of old people back. New people didn't have to use Evos anymore. So of course that's great. But the problem with that is that a lot of cards that people at level 15 were banned. So now they have to use underleveled cards. And that's just not fun. I know the Clash Royale comes out like, oh, we came with level 15 because people like leveling their cards. Of course we like leveling cards because we like having max cards so we can actually compete. So it makes no sense that oh you have maybe they should have reduced the card level to level 14 because oh you we bringing back old ladder with with new cards not being allowed, so like champions were banned, but you can't use the card levels that you currently have. You have to use old card level, your card levels like level 14 and a level 15 max, which isn't very, yeah, I don't think many people found that fun. And alongside all of those problems is the fact that progression has been constantly getting nerfed. One of the biggest changes, of course, is the fact that the season shop. I know everyone here, if you're listening to this, probably knows about the fact season shop being removed because every time there's a Clash Royale, like Clash Royale posts, uh, just like posts anything, they're like, oh, about that. What about bringing back the season shop? Which is completely valid because it allowed you to get wild cards, so you could upgrade your cards. You could get evolution shards, and although it didn't help to get to level 15, it was still, or it didn't help that much to get level 15 compared to getting other stuff. Still, it was a form of progression. And when you get to level 14, you get more elite wild cards because they carry over, obviously. And now, of course, the fact that they removed chests and made it only lucky drops is just so painful. Like, because now, or at least it feels more painful. Because I don't know the statistics, but I think most people would agree with the fact that it just feels like lucky drops give so much less. And I know for me at least, the gold, it feels like it gives no gold compared to chests, and I feel like I just can't get any cards level 14 anymore. Cause I have a decent pool of cards level 14, but obviously I want to upgrade more so that I can get elite wild cards. But the gold just isn't there. And then the most recent change is card masters. Now, once again, not 100% sure what they're doing, but because I haven't actually I haven't kept up that much with the news, but I know the fact that they're moving gems, and I know gems isn't exactly the most progression like thing, but still, you can buy chests for the emotes. It's just the fact that they're removing more from the economy, which is just terrible. Like, we can't progress. It feels like there's nothing we can do to get level 15. So I know many people probably know this, but that's just all the main reasons I really think of just why level 15 actually is so hated. Because it's not one thing, it's not that it's a lot of this or that. It's the fact that all of these things combined, and all of them are detrimental to the gameplay, to the experience, the enjoyment. And why I think level 15 was definitely the biggest mistake Clash Royale has ever made. But yeah, I think that's all I want to say for this video. Bye.